Hi there, Colin Lamb, aka the Tone Wizard, back again, and welcome to Ween Talk episode 6, entitled The Worst of Ween. Before we get into this episode, I just want to give a shout out to some users who left some very nice comments on some of my previous videos. Joe, thank you for the nice comments, and Trish Hines, thank you for your nice comments. I also want to give a shout out to the user DQs, who commented on my last video, Ween Talk episode 5, Fish versus Ween, Ween sucks. He left a comment that was somewhat related to the video that I'd done, and then he left a link to a rant about Ween, in which he doesn't appear to be very happy about Ween, about topical health issues, and a number of different things. So DQs, if you're out there, please let me know what you were on about. If you want to even come on, I'd love to do a Skype episode with you if you want to tell me about why Ween sucks. And yeah, if anybody else wants to watch that video, I will leave a link to it in the description here. So thank you very much for those comments, and thank you to the new subscribers that I have on the channel. If you're watching for the first time, please like and subscribe to the video. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm hoping to churn out some more of these every couple of weeks or so. But anyways, let's get into the episode. So, Ween Talk episode 6, The Worst of Ween. So, obviously, if you're a diehard Ween fan, and I've met a lot of you out there, you're going to be watching this video thinking this guy's an asshole. All Ween is great. They're the greatest thing. Blah, 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 blah. And I've heard that sort of thing. I've heard people who think that, that some of the darker, browner, less produced stuff is their best works. I personally don't feel that way, and you're entitled to your opinion. But really, the point of this video that I want to make is that we have to look at Ween objectively. I mean, even the Beatles had some bad songs. They would just let Ringo sing them. So maybe if they could just throw some of these songs to Claude, they could become classics somehow. I don't know. But basically, we just need to be able to look at things objectively. And when I take the rose-colored glasses off, there are some songs that I don't really like. But also what I wanted to do is demonstrate the fact that when I tell people that Ween is my favorite band, and if they respect my opinion, if they know me as a musician or whatever it may be, I think maybe some of them go to check out Ween. And sometimes I do hear from people who've done that. And maybe they land on a track like Boing. When they just go to Spotify and shuffle, they get Boing. And they're thinking, that's this guy's favorite band. Like, what the I don't respect this guy anymore. So I just thought I'd make a list of the tracks that I think would be kind of deterrent for getting somebody into Ween. If you have any tracks that you were thinking of, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. And if you have anything to say about this video, I'd love to hear about it. Now, what I've done is I've made a Spotify playlist, so you can actually follow along on Spotify or listen to them afterwards. I'll put a link to that in the comments below. But anyways, let's get right into this list. Okay, so track 1 is Friends off of the Friends EP. Now, when I first heard this song, I don't know how the making of the Friends EP came together, if it's even the full band or what it is. But when I heard this, I thought, what if Ween was Cher and Cher was awful? Because this track does not do anything for me personally. I don't think I've heard it live, but this isn't even something that you dance to try and impress girls on some drunken, drug-addled night in some windowless hell dungeon somewhere. This is just a weird song that I personally don't enjoy. And if I was going to show Ween to somebody, I would not show them this song. Moving along to track 2, we have Blackjack off of God, Ween, and Satan. I have nothing to say about this song. It appears to be some kind of spoon or wooden block driven melody. And I'll just read some of the lyrics and maybe that'll help things out here. Blackjack, big black Betty, Blackjack, little Spanish Eddie, big flapjack, Blackjack, Indian black Betty, Blackjack, Blackjack, and so on and so forth. There's also a prolonged section of laughing that kind of turns into crying at the end that is very unsettling and not really that enjoyable. I mean, it's probably the most notable part of the song. So I could be wrong. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, but I think that one's a bit of a stinker. Number 3 is a track off of the Pod called Demon Sweat. Now, I don't know what this song is about, but I laid awake in a bed in Vegas once coming down off of drugs I bought in a limo, and I can imagine that might have something to do with this wonderful song. Yeah, it's kind of got a synthy guitar outro as well that doesn't do much for me personally. So moving on, we've got track 4, another track off the Pod, which is Boing. And this really just exemplifies the point I made. Imagine telling somebody that this is a band. Like, I've traveled across America and Canada to see this band, right? And I tell people it's my favorite band. I play in a tribute band. I do a friggin' podcast. But if somebody was to look and randomly look up Ween and they found the track Boing, my opinions would mean absolutely nothing to them. So that's track 4, Boing. Track 5 is one that a lot of people actually probably disagree with me on, but it's a track that I have never enjoyed, and that's a track called Reggae, Junkie off of Pure Guava. When I listen to this song, I kind of imagine a metallic, like, robotic parasite trying to burrow its way into my neurons in like a steampunk dystopian hellscape. That's kind of what I picture. I don't like this song. I always change it when it comes on, and it really unsettles me. And you know what? Certain Ween songs really delight me, and some of them give me the tingling sense of joy. But this track, it just does not do anything for me. Track number 6, off of Pure Guava as well, Flies on My Dick. The notes I have about this song just say flies on my dick. So we're going to move on to track 7, which is, this one's a little more lighthearted. It's a candid little number off of Chocolate and Cheese. And it's called HIV. Ween, to me, one of the things I really love about Ween is that they'll juxtapose thematic elements, like lyrics and whatnot, with against sort of counterintuitive choices in melody and mood and genre, right? So, they'll have a really happy song with really sad lyrics, and maybe that's what this one is. But I really feel that, if you're showing it to somebody who's not familiar with the band and their work, it comes off as gratuitous. And as time goes by, people have gotten more sensitive, and maybe you don't want to hang around people who don't have enough of a sense of humor. Maybe there's no humor to it all. I don't know. I still dance to the song. I played it a couple of times live with my tribute band, but definitely not a song that's going to be for everyone. Track number 8, another track off of Chocolate and Cheese, would be Candi. Okay, so I listen to Candi, and I think, sometimes when you give prolific rock artists access to electronic music, they can create some really profound and unexpected stuff. But when I listen to Candi, I want to mash my hands into my ears so that I can hear no longer, because I don't like the song. And again, these are just my opinions, and I obviously love Ween. Again, I do a whole friggin' podcast, but that one is not one of my favorites, and definitely if you're trying to sway somebody over to the Ween side of life, you're not going to have any luck with that track. Moving on, this is a mean selection, but I have a little backstory to this song. I learned how to play it, and I played it at a campfire one time. It was like a party sort of camp situation. I was out with some friends of mine. I played a little bit of it, and like 3 campsites over, through the darkness, through the flickering campfire light silhouetting on the trees, I heard a group of young women booing me for singing this. So yeah, maybe I have personal amount of hurt attached to this song, but track 9 off of 12 Gold Country Greats is Fluffy, Tiny Buddy. Fluffy can't get no luck, and he's not getting any love on this list, unfortunately. Fluffy comes in track 9 on the worst of Ween. And again, the theory of this is to not just shit on the songs, but to say that if you're using this stuff to bring somebody to Ween, it's probably not going to work. And in fact, I actually have a second story about Fluffy. I was driving in my car telling a buddy of mine about my favorite band. I had like a mix sort of MP3 list on or something. This is years ago. That track came on, and he physically reached to turn the stereo down, if not off. So Fluffy didn't go well. Track number 10, also off of 12 Golden Country Greats, is a song called Powdered Blue. I don't know if they ran out of drugs, alcohol, or just, any kind of inspiration in the studio when they were recording this, but evidently this is what they got. I don't like the track. I never have. It's just not my favorite track. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to get too scathing here. But moving on, track number 11, Pink Eye from the Mollusk. And I had a thought that this is kind of like a theme song. There's a baby crying somewhere. I hope you can't hear that. And that's a further reaction to Fluffy, I'm just assuming. But In any event, the song Pink Eye off of The Mollusk, I kind of thought, what could this song be appropriate for? Because it does have a little something to it. And I was thinking like some kind of Beavis and Butthead style of cartoon drawing, and maybe it's about, two bums who just sit on the street sleeping and garbage piles up around them. It's not a pleasant picture that I'm painting there. And it's not a pleasant song. So, just like Pink Eye, you'd be best to steer clear of that. Track number 12 is I'm Dancing in the Show Tonight. Again, you're not going to win any friends with that one on. And say you're at a house party and it's your turn to kind of take over the tablet or whatever's playing the music, and you put that on, the party's going to take a little bit of a nosedive there. So objectively speaking, not my favorite track and not one of Ween's strongest tracks, and not going to win any friends here. Moving on, track 13 on the worst of Ween, and this is getting painful to do. I'm not really enjoying this as this goes on, but you got to finish what you start, and I've got to finish this goddamn list. Track number 13, Alcan Road from Quebec. This is the sound that we've all been hearing for like the last decade in our minds while we wait for another Ween album. This like somber, foreboding, pluming noise that just rises and falls against our expectations. Where's the goddamn new album is what I have to say about that. And track number 14, this track is a track that I hear frequently in my head, so maybe I actually secretly love it. Maybe it's a love-hate kind of thing. This track I hear, on a Tuesday night when it's like 9:30 and I'm waddling to the fridge covered in chip dust, and I'm getting that beer number 6 out of the 6-pack there on a Tuesday, and I'm saying, fuck Wednesday morning, I'm going for it. And when I do that, I hear the track Big Fat Fuck. That's the song that I hear, and that's off of Shinola Volume 2. And that rounds out our list. So if you disagree with me on any of these tracks, or if you have some tracks that aren't your favorites, please let me know in the comments. And just to kind of wash away the negativity of this video, because it was kind of a negative video, the next video that I'm going to do is going to be like the most radio-friendly sort of songs of Ween that could be used to make a new fan out of them. So a song like Ocean Man or The Mollusk or something like that. Something that's a little more cheerly and accessible. Anyhow, I am Colin, a.k.a. The Tone Wizard. That is the worst of Ween. If you've made it through the video without hating me, I thank you. Please give me a subscribe, a like, and I'm going to pull the plug on this one and drink the rest of this beer.